How's it going, people? Thanks very much again for tuning in to one of our videos. Now, today's date is the 16th of November, and the reason why I'm pointing this out is because it's 3 months today where Kim put out one of her situation reports, and on that particular show on 16th of August 2023 she spoke about Maui in Hawaii, and that there would be an international relief, or what I'm sure she called it, International Natural Relief Fund, and this fund would be for helping those that had lost all of their everything in their life, but mostly spoke about homes and businesses and things like that. So this video is to go back, is an update on what has actually happened, what Kim has done in Maui. So we've got an update for you, and we'll show the update as well, well, how far the reconstruction of the island, and also a video of the people explaining how they got money. So that can only be good, couldn't it? Okay, so before we go on, I want to play back what she actually said. So let's go back in time 3 months and now listen to what she said, and then we'll show you how far it's gone. We'll leave it at that for now. Anyway, back in a minute.
As far as moving forward in Maui, here is the plan, and be very clear about this. We have no intention of owning Maui. Be nice to have a house there some point in my life, but maybe retire there, who knows. But the people with the properties, with the homes that burnt down, will be the same people that will have a new home built on the same property at zero cost to them, because this is part of the natural disaster relief, the International Natural Disaster Relief Plan that we tried to implement even under the Trump administration for victims of Hurricane Michael. We sent money for that, and clearly, if you've been to that particular area, it still needs a lot of help. And he didn't adhere to any of the rules for those money. Clearly, if you are from that area in Florida, you know that. So this was the plan there, and this is the plan here, and it will be the same for anywhere in the world where this type of an event happens. The businesses will belong to the same business people that owned them before. Front Street, which is the main drag in Lahaina, will look exactly like it did before, or better, should the business owners so choose it. That we will not be building high-rise condos, Chinese military bases, or any other kind of military base for that matter. The land will still belong to those same people, and the same thing will be afforded to them. So we're not having any intention here of we just want to help rebuild. We want to keep people safe and help people rebuild. We have been in contact with some people there on the island and been able to provide some kind of nominal supplies. Thank you to all our subscribers for that, because it's you that makes that kind of thing happen. Contrary to popular belief, that's of some, that's what we do use those funds for emergencies, for whether it's an individual needs food or it's medical supplies, or they need help in that region. They have been blocking supply ships to the area. There's usually ships that come in twice a week to stock grocery stores. Those ships have not come in. Some of them are sitting offshore, and they are the food is going bad. A lot of things are happening there. A lot of this is intentional. That's quite obvious. They really don't care how many people there die. I'm sure Blackwater didn't roll up there. They were due to get paid today as well, by the way. They were on this quote unquote payroll that didn't go out.
So now you've seen that clip of what she promised to do. Let's have a look at what she's actually done and the progress of that relief fund. So here's what she's done. Yep, that's right, folks. Tumbleweed. Absolute nothing. Nothing's happened from Kim's point. Well, from what Kim's done. She's done nothing. All them promises. She said every single person that lost their home would have it rebuilt in the same plot of land that the old structure was standing on. All the businesses would still own those businesses and the buildings. So why isn't anything moved on? Well, I don't need to ask myself that question. I'm asking you people that follow her. We've said many times that you have to make a note of the date when Kim says something. You need to record it. She doesn't always put a date on something, but when there's a natural disaster like this, not like, oh, we're taking out bunkers, you'll never be able to view that. She'd never be able to prove that, and you couldn't ask her to prove it because it's the same old bullshit. Oh, it's operational, it's security. People will die if we show that information. So this is a perfect opportunity for you, Kim's believers, to see how your saviour has made miracles by at least rebuilding someone's home. Because those poor people have not just lost bricks and mortar and sentimental things. They lost their loved ones, family members, their dear friends, but most of all, their animals that were so innocent too. And she made a promise. She made a promise in that particular situation report, like, this is what I'm going to do for the people. She capitalizes on a natural disaster like that for people to think, oh, you're such a great person. Honestly, I could just see it. All of you that kind of have worked out Kim, you can imagine all of her followers there, like tears in their eyes, saying, oh, Kim, you've touched my heart. Yeah. The nasty woman, I won't even call her that, parasite, has done zilch since she made that situation report. Now we spoke to our sources that are in Kim's camp, and we said, look, what have you heard anything about Maui rebuilding? And they went, nope, that got shut down. Nothing said about it anymore. I said, well, why? People then ask. They just saw what was going on in the Telegram groups. People were asking the question, do you have an update on Maui? Where the people are, especially the ones that have got, it's part of America, is Hawaii, United States of America. And people around the world, but mostly in the United States, were probably thinking, oh, I've got family back home. And they get to hear that nothing's being done for them, that they're struggling to get money from the government, from all these different relief funds out there. But they're telling their family, don't worry, we've got Kim Goguen is going to help you. Watch out, he's coming. And what do? They chase up. in the Telegram groups. Just the average Joe in the Telegram group of Kim's care asks a question about it, and we've been told they've either been ignored, silenced by being deleted or snoozed, and a lot have been removed from the groups. And this is what they do. So those that are part of Kim's team, especially the sources, will not jeopardize their position by asking themselves, because they know what happens. They've seen what happens to all the other high-ranking members when you cross her. You've heard what Ava Cowan said, Max Lowen, Thomas Williams. You've heard them. I mean, they can't get much higher than these people. So they were removed. And anybody in the groups now, if you're brave enough to ask the same question, there's only one way to know if I'm telling you the truth or not, is by asking those questions. And if you just keep asking those questions until you get it answered, we know what will happen. But you probably won't, because you love being in those groups for whatever reason. But you'll get removed, because I've seen how people have regrouped in their own Telegram groups. It's such a wonderful thing, even though some still believe in what Kim's saying. They've regrouped. They might still want to be part of the restoration plan, which us in Team Bubba know it's complete bullshit. It's pure evil, and it makes my blood boil that this woman can still continue to have followers when she's not come up with the goods. Now I'm going to play you a video now. Have a listen to this. This is some guy. I'm going to plug his YouTube channel as well. I'll put the link in here because it's his content. But he goes around and asks people, boots on the ground, how things are, how are they doing in Maui? How are things going on? What are they doing for money? Insurance money, funds. So have a little watch of this. You can do your own research. There's loads of stuff on YouTube and Rumble about people still not having a home. Some are the ones that were fortunately well off and ones that were very poor. But I've just chosen this particular video. You watch it. There's not one mention in this video I'm about to show you about Kim's Relief Fund. In fact, people having to borrow money and pay interest as soon as that money is borrowed. So if you're for your home to be completely rebuilt, you cannot get your own contract. It has to be a specific person, or a group, part of a, I guess, preferred list. And you're paying nearly double what it would normally cost to build your house, because people are taking the piss on someone's bad fortune, should I say. Absolutely disgraceful. And the Red Cross and all these other ones, we can help you. Anyway, watch this video, we'll come back. Anyway, watch this video. We'll come back.
Island of Maui. I'm here with Ed and Michelle, and they have been gracious enough to allow me to come onto their property and to show you the world what's going on here at the devastation of what used to be their beautiful home. They owned it for about 7 years. It is a complete and total loss, and they're gonna go through an update, if you will, of what they've experienced since the fire in terms of support from the various governmental agencies, from their insurance companies, because we believe it's very important for you, the concerned citizen of the world, to know what's actually going on here in Lahaina. So this is not something you're going to see in the mainstream media probably, but I think it's very important because we need to bring awareness to the struggle that the people of Lahaina are actually going through. And more than anything, we got to get the word out, because if the word gets out, then there can be possible justice, or there can be people that come to the aid of the people of Lahaina. So please do me a favor, do Lahaina a favor, do the Cheneys a favor, share the video, subscribe to the channel. It's been shadow banned, and we're going to not just talk about what they've experienced, but we're also going to show you around their land, what's left of their belongings, and show you some really interesting, weird, crazy things that I don't know if anyone's actually gone on a property and done this before, but we want to shine a light on what's happened here. So anyway, with much love and respect and aloha to all the fire survivors, we're doing this also as a community service, because the story that you're about to hear Ed and Michelle tell is the same story that I'm hearing from basically everybody that I've talked to as well, and it's not really that pretty what they're going through. So with that, Ed, tell us a little bit, and Michelle, tell us a little bit about the support that you've received since the fire, in terms of, and let's just get right down to the numbers. You know, how much money have you received as homeowners, right? They're not renters, so that you didn't qualify for the normal stuff, because the default answer from FEMA and Red Cross is if you have insurance. What do they tell you?
They say we can't help you until everybody else has been exhausted, but most of them have the same response. We can't do much for you because you have insurance.
So go to your insurance company.
Right.
Yep.
That's the answer. Okay, now are you willing to tell us who your insurance company is?
Geico.
Geico, all right.
Well, it's
That's a pretty good name.
And-
RLI.
Yeah, RLI.
Subbed out of Geico.
Subsidiary of Geico.
But if you sign up with Geico Home Insurance, they're going to basically put you in touch with this other company that handles their home insurance,
Yep.
right? Which is
Yep.
called
RLI.
RLI. Okay, and what's been your experience so far with RLI, and what kind of monies have you received to date?
Well, it's been a little difficult in the beginning, you know, the process of not knowing exactly what you're doing. You know, we're not insurance people.
Right.
So that was a learning curve as well.
Well, you've never done this before,
No, we've
obviously,
never.
yeah.
And, you know, they'll give you little bits at a time, and we're still working on our personal property. We have to list everything that we owned on this personal property list.
Have you received any money yet?
On that, he gave us a little bit of, you know, like 25 for it, but he gave us a little bit of money for that.
So
in
you
the very
received some money
beginning.
for your personal possessions that you lost?
Yeah, but it's not anywhere near the policy.
Not anywhere
No,
close.
no. And so we have to do a detailed list of that, which is very time consuming, just trying to remember what you had.
Yeah.
You know, and then just trying to remember when you bought it, how much you paid for it.
So you have to provide receipts or some kind of itemized list?
Yeah, some
Okay.
kind of itemized list. But
What about rental assistance? I know
we
that
got no rental.
no rental money at all.
No, we were actually
Not a penny.
No.
So this is 90 days after the fire.
Yep.
And you have not received any money yet for rental
And
assistance.
the reason for that was a customer gave us a place to stay temporarily. And
Out of the kindness of their heart.
Out of the
Yes.
kindness of their heart.
So you have a roof over your head and your
once
chickens.
we accept, well, yeah, we had animals and we couldn't just
If you remember, Ed's the guy that saved his chickens.
30
They
chickens,
lived in the
3
van
dogs.
with and 3 dogs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good for you.
And we've since
Unfortunately,
lost one of our little
dogs.
little dogs.
We don't know what happened to her.
So once you accept a free place to stay, even temporary, nobody can help you. They cut off services to you.
Yeah.
Once you take,
Right. Well, with Red Cross, they did actually give us some financial funds, but then right after that, they closed the case and said, because you don't need And I called them twice, and I said, I want to make sure, because what if like 3 months from now we need housing? And we, you know, I mean, apparently they're extending it out 18 months on some of this. And I said, what do we do? And they're saying, well, if you have housing now, you can't apply for that. So we're still kind of concerned about that.
Because somebody helped you and
Yep.
provided a place to live, then
Yeah.
you missed out on the normal benefits.
Right.
And even your insurance company has been unwilling to
Yep.
forward you any money, even though you're obviously living in someone's home.
Right.
Yep.
What about any of the big, obviously Ed and Michelle received some monies from the Lahaina Fire Fund. There's lots of other funds out there, right? You got the Oprah Winfrey, I believe you applied for that, is that what you told me?
Yeah.
Any funds coming in from the Oprah Winfrey Fund?
We did actually get a payment on that.
One payment?
One payment,
And
yeah.
that's it?
I believe so.
Yeah, everyone that I've talked to, by the way, that applied for that received one payment, and there was a promise of continuing payments, but
Yeah.
no one said they received any more after that.
Yeah.
And then you've got the conundrum of your insurance and the coverage and rebuilding of your home. Now, by the way, this property was just sprayed. We're going to show you. It has the new
Soil tech.
soil tech. In terms of the coverage, I know you just met with the SBA, and give us a little rundown, because I think this is, people talk about a potential land grab in Lahaina. I believe the land grab consists of what you're about to hear, which is people that have mortgage payments
Yep.
that are still due, right?
Yep.
And they can't live in their home, and then ultimately having a shortfall of coverage, and then having another loan coming in from the SBA, and that payment starts. So now you have two payments, and not enough to cover the cost of replacing
still
all
not-
the buildings you have here. So just give us a quick rundown of what that's looked like so far.
Go ahead.
So, I'm trying to get my train of thought back. We applied for the SBA, and they, when we first applied, we were told that you would have a year to actually take the funds, and no payment would be required to be paid for a year. And a year, 11 months, so it kept going back and forth, so that you, and no interest for a year. But when SBA called us, the guy told us that that's incorrect, that once you start taking the funds, the interest starts, and that you will have to make payments. I'm thinking maybe he said something about you might get a 6-month leeway. And
But the total amount of money that that you shared with me that SBA will provide, combined with the amount of total money that you could get from your homeowner's insurance, is that enough to build what you had here? Because I
No.
believe you had one home and an ohana?
we had we had
2 homes and an ohana and a garage.
And a garage. 2 homes, an ohana, and a garage. And so to build all that today, you've been quoted somewhere between $500 and $700 a square foot.
We were told
more,
we were tasked to go out and find contractors to give us pricing.
Because,
And-
by the way, they can't get the money if they do it as an owner builder, right?
Right.
You have to
Not
use
allowed.
Yep.
a GC. So if Ed can build anything, but to get this money from the SBA, you have to use a general contractor. And the minimum that I've known over the years to build on Maui is, minimum, bare minimum is $500 a square foot. And that's pushing
before
it.
the fire.
That's
Yeah.
before the fire.
And-
Normally it's $700 a square foot. So what's the total amount conservatively that you think, Ed, it would cost with a general contractor to rebuild what you had here?
Just the main house, which is only 849 square feet or somewhere there, that was ranging in the 850,000.
Okay, so 850 grand just for the main
Just for the
home.
main-
Just for the main home.
not
Forget
including
about.
the
No
not
garage,
including
no
the
rentals.
ohanas.
Okay, so let's just work with that number. Let's just take 850 grand. How much money did the insurance company say you'll get for replacement cost?
240.
240. Okay, so that's 240. And then how much money from the SBA?
560.
I'm not 100% sure, but it was around 500.
So 500. So you could end up possibly with $750,000
Yep.
between those two sources. That's not enough to rebuild the main home,
No.
obviously. And then you have to make a payment on the SBA loan, right? And then
And the mortgage.
they still have their existing mortgage. So part of the challenge is that most people are going to want to not default on their loan because they don't want to lose their property, and that's the land grab if they default. You've been making your payments ever since you
Oh, yeah.
got burned down, right? So they're making their payments every single month for a place they can't live in. And then ultimately, it's not enough money, but you would have to take some of that money to pay off your loan. I'm not going to ask you how much you owe on your house, but let's just say hypothetically it's $400,000. Let's just say hypothetically. then they would only have $450,000 or
Left.
four left to rebuild, which is not enough to rebuild half of a house.
And that doesn't include redoing the septic.
Right, yeah, talk a little bit about the whole situation here with the infrastructure, the water currently, the electric, and the septic, because I think it's really important for people to know. We're by the way, we're in Waikuli neighborhood. We're at
120A Fleming Road.
120A Fleming Road, right across the street from the Chart House, where Front Street terminates. We're going to talk about that at some point in time as well, but not for now. So talk a little bit about the, what was I saying?
The sewer.
Yeah, the
and
sewer,
water.
thank you. I started thinking about the Chart House, sorry.
They they just came and took our water meters. Everybody in Waikuli.
So everybody,
Yeah,
they
we
took the
haven't
water
checked
meter.
everybody's,
Yeah.
but-
So here's the, you can see the connections for the water, right there.
So the water meter's gone.
They came and took all of theirs are there. Everybody's are gone. They just came and took them.
Okay.
We don't know why. Maybe they're defaulting now because of the fire. I don't know. So that's telling me that our lines are now open to all the debris.
And everything they just sprayed here.
Yep. So I'm guessing they can't use the water lines now, which is one of the scenarios that we've heard, that they possibly cannot use the water lines. They'll have to put in all new water lines for all of Waikuli, Lahaina Luna, and Front Street.
So the amount of time that you're thinking in your head that that'll be before, so you had all the money you needed, right now, just you had 1.5 million bucks, which is probably what it would take to rebuild everything you had, in my opinion.
Yeah.
If you had all that money right now, when do you think, best case scenario, you would have the ability to move in based on what you've heard from the government officials? Is it a year? Is it 2 years? Is it 3 years?
We're
What
getting
have you heard?
conflicting stories. Every time we hear one story or one estimate, we went to a county meeting last night to listen to the governor and I'm sorry, the mayor and other people, and they just said it's going to be a long time. We were asking when, a year, 2 years, 3 years.
So you don't know.
They wouldn't
No,
give
we
us an
don't know.
answer. They
We
wouldn't
don't
give us an
know.
answer.
She just said it'll be a very long time.
Right.
And then other experts said that they were expecting 2 to 3 years because they're also going to have to redo the sewer lines.
I think Civil Beat was saying, had an article just recently, last couple of days, that upwards of 3 years.
So, Kim's got a super duper computer. She's got thousands of field messages, and none of them are actually doing what this man's doing. He's going around and asking all the people who have lost things, all the people who have lost their homes, at least businesses. They haven't done any. There should be Kim have these people, representatives in Maui, walking up to people saying, "Is this your home here? Right, we're going to show everybody that there's somebody out there that cares about you. We're going to rebuild your home." And then you start seeing the heavy equipment coming in, at least start building. Not just one, but you could see a whole estate, subdivision or whatever, being reconstructed. And you think, oh, it's only 3 months. What do you expect? 3 months when it's someone's lost their life and everything. That should be priority. Priority. Not giving the money to the cabal, to the deep state, and all this other bullshit. She says you can I've just transferred so many trillion to Joe Biden or whoever to do this, that, the other. It's done nothing. What about all the other countries that are a complete wreck right now? It's not, nothing's been built. The things that you can see with your own eyes, okay, it's either through your family, through TV. She dumps. She'll come out. She'll capitalise on the latest disaster, like something that catches everyone's their eyes and their heart, and people very warmly to. And everyone goes, and she puts this thing like, "How dare you do that to these people? I'll get you. We'll take you out. I'll finish you. I'll send you all back to source." And then months later, like again, tumbleweed. This is, honestly, this is what you people need to do. Now, this morning, might even been yesterday's situation report, you need to watch it. There's 3 copies out there. There's loads of people doing it now. Every time people put things up, she puts a complaint of copyright in, and they get taken down. So, but yeah, have a look for her latest one. I'll do a video on it, but I just this is a sort of like in the same line of bullshit where Kim has now gone a bit too far with her promises and bullshit, forgetting that this time people, even the most deeply controlled by Kim, are gonna go, bloody hell, how can you promise that? How can you say that's going to happen? It's obvious if that come true, everybody's going to see it. It's like a magician going to make Statue of Liberty disappear forever, or so move it with a click of his fingers, so it moves from New York to Boston, and it stays there for a week, and everyone can feel it and touch it. This is what Kim has. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but Kim has said something, a lot of things that only a psychopath would say, unless they're confident that they can come up with the goods. And she said by end of this month. Crazy, absolute crazy. This person is. I'm saying it from my point of view, because I'm Team Bubba. We know she's never going to be able to come up with that. But I think that she's got so carried away. She's going to be. I'm thinking, I'm losing people's attention because stuff I'm coming out with now, nobody's believing. They're asking too many questions. So now, this must be the big one that you've all been waiting for. But you know, she's going to come up with an excuse to say the cabal threatened this, threatened to poison everybody with some kind of a spray or whatever. That's what she's going to say. You've only got a couple of weeks, less than a couple of weeks for her to come up with the goods. But watch the situation report, 15th of November. There's copies of it out there. This is to all you people that are sitting on the fence or believing Kim. Watch it. And you'll be going, oh, Kim, you sure you want to be saying that? Or you're going to be going, oh, Kim, you're absolutely fantastic. This is it. We're all going to be. This is the big one, the big party. You know, the one at the end. The trick of all. Like Kim's going to be able to bring out the guns, and we're all going to be able to crack on with the restoration plan now, because this is such a massive event. This is probably the one that's going to break her, or she's going to lose a lot of followers, because she cannot come up with the goods with this. I tell you what, if she did, let me tell you something now. If what she's just announced happens end of this month, we know for 100% it's not going to happen. But let's just say by some miracle she come up with the goods this time. I tell you, we would promote her if she did that, because that would be the ultimate proof that she says who she claims to be, and that everything that we've been reporting has been, like she said, a trick of the cabal, the demons possessing us and things like that. we would get on board. And the thing is, if everybody on this planet would know about this, there's absolutely no way anyone could say that they don't know who Kim is, and that the changes that she said in that video had gone ahead, because they'd see it, it'd be absolutely obvious, because of it'd impact the media, governments, everything. Even the mention of a global intelligence agency, everything. But I'm not going to hold my breath, because it's bullshit, and this is why I'm telling you now. This is either going to be the end of her, or the beginning of the end, the big bang of her being finished. Because there will be people switching her off big time. Right, folks, that's all we have for you today. But it's such a horrible thing to do, to what she's done to those people in Maui, giving them false promises, selling the hopium, just so you get a few more subscriptions. And also, go back to yesterday's show with her, the cheek of it, of having to, or right at the end of her situation report, oh, by the way, we've got a new online shop selling our merch, tacky shit, hoodies, hats, cups, t-shirts with UNN and all this shit, the same stuff that Tank was selling with Life Force crap on it. Oh, by the way, and in that 16th of August situation report we just heard, she said that, and she had to throw that bit in, she said that thank you to all the subscribers because we couldn't help these people. Prove it, Kim. Be transparent. If you think that to get more subscribers, or to hold on to subscribers, so those subscribers don't feel guilty if they have to stop it, you think that you're going to be able to continue selling your bullshit on the situation reports and keeping your subscribers? Because, like I said, we've told you lot how much she makes a month. That's a lot, and none of that money goes to anybody. Grifters don't do that. They definitely should be coming up with the goods. Like I said, all she's got to do is send someone one of the field messages that's in Hawaii to show what they've done with the subscription money that she claims to have done to help people with food, medicines, and then comes out with some bullshit that ships have been stopped to prevent food going into the country. There probably is, but she's trying to make it out that the reason why the funds might not be getting this because it's getting stopped. Again, the cabal stopped the money going in to stop these people. Well, Kim, why don't you say, I'm sorry, but a lot of people are being, we're being held to ransom here. We're not doing it. You're not getting a single penny until we can build those people's homes again. 3 months. You should start seeing reconstruction and people being smiling, holding up banners. There should be millions, hundreds of thousands, or even millions of people putting up boards outside saying, Kim's restoration plan built my home. Absolutely, there's F all. Right, folks, I've got to go now. But wake up. If you don't, like I said, from now on, if you don't want to wake up, you still want to follow her, make a note of all this shit she's saying in her reports. Go back to all videos and replay them. Nothing's happened that she's promised, especially ones that should be obvious in your eyes. Take care now. Bye bye.